welcome to Razz Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing Deadpool 2. We have this crazy R-rated fourth wall breaking comic book character that has already made his debut in a terrible film called Wolverine Origins. But then, due to the help of some leaked footage and an insanely passionate actor who's Ryan Reynolds, who's in love with the Deadpool character, the film got finally made last year and it came out and it was a surprise hit. It currently is the second highest grossing R-rated film of all time after Passion of the Christ. And here we are in 2018 and we've got ourselves a sequel. However, the sequel was not directed by the same director of the first one. Tim Miller actually left the project due to creative differences between him and Ryan Reynolds. And we had David Leitch come in to direct, who's not really a big director. He's like a second unit director and he mostly does stunt work, most famously in John Wick. Deadpool is personally my favorite comic book character of all time. And he's a very flexible character when you adapt him. He's been in R-rated comics, he's been in PG-13 cartoons with Spider-Man. He can be anywhere if you get his essence right. Deadpool 1 definitely got it right, and I'm very happy to say that so did the sequel. I love Deadpool 2. It's hilarious, it's a lot of fun, it has all of the right elements that were there in the first film and made it work, and it's definitely bigger. This movie officially has my favorite post-credit scene of all time. It has a post-credit scene that has actually made the world a better place. And here are the top 3 things I liked about Deadpool 2. Number 3, Cable and Domino. When I heard that they're bringing Cable into Deadpool 2, I was over the moon. I love Deadpool and Cable. Their storylines and their comic runs are some of my favorite Deadpool stories ever. And I couldn't wait to see that weird, quirky, unreasonable relationship translated into a movie with Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. And no one is better at playing Cable than Josh Brolin. I really like the look, I really like the character, and the two of them had incredible chemistry. And Josh Brolin is coming off of Thanos and now he does an amazing job as Cable. This guy's like having the best summer ever. The second addition to the Deadpool team is Domino, and Domino is very exciting because she's a very cool character, and I thought that she was pretty cool in the movie as well. We didn't explore her a lot yet, but I really liked how they displayed her powers because her powers are very hard to understand. But I thought the film did a really good job at showing us how lucky she is and how she has a domino effect of things that make situations work out for her. And that afro is sick. I love it. Number 2, Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds was born to play Deadpool. It's simple as that. He is so perfect for the role. He encompasses this character so well, and he's so passionate about it, and you can feel how much he loves this character. And he just pulls it off so nicely in the film, in behind the scenes, and the marketing leading up to the film. So much so that when I read the comics now or I see a speech bubble from Deadpool, I hear Ryan Reynolds' voice in my head. And interestingly enough, this movie tried to dig deeper in terms of character development, and we ended up seeing a lot more Wade Wilson than we did Deadpool. The number one thing I like about Deadpool 2 is the humor. This movie is funny. Laugh out loud, side hurts, miss half the jokes because you're too busy laughing at the other half. Kind of funny movie. There's a lot of dark humor, there's a lot of slapstick physical humor, and of course you get my favorite, the fourth wall breaking meta humor. And this thing in particular is why Deadpool is my favorite character, because Deadpool is aware of the fact that he is a comic book character. He constantly makes fun of it, he constantly pokes at it, and he makes references to a lot of pop culture stuff that a comic book character should know. And to find that aspect translated so well in these movies has brought me so much joy, more than I can ever express. And no one and nothing is safe. They make fun of Ryan Reynolds himself, they make fun of X-Men films, they make fun of Marvel and DC, and so many references. It's brutal and it's awesome. And Deadpool 2 is not a perfect film. It's a very ambitious film, and sometimes those ambitions pay off, and other times it doesn't really achieve what it sets out to achieve. So here are the top 3 things I didn't like about Deadpool 2. Number 3, the CGI. Speaking of ambitious, this movie tries to do a lot of complicated, over-the-top sequences, and a lot of them work very well, and others have some problems with the CGI. Sometimes the CGI felt a little wonky and uncomfortable, especially in fight scenes with certain characters. And of course, the movie still makes fun of itself and its own CGI-ness, so I forgive it for it. And it wasn't that bad, it's just, it was a little uneven. The number 2 thing I didn't like about Deadpool is the story. The question in the sequel is always, is this movie better than the first one? And as much as I love Deadpool 2, it's not better than the first one, and that's because of the story. Deadpool 1 had a very simple plot, a very simple story that worked very well for the film. Here, the story gets a little bit more complicated and a little bit more messy, and it doesn't always flow as well as it did in the first film. There are some sequences, some plot points, and some character decisions that don't really make sense sometimes. And it's also missing the freshness factor that Deadpool 1 had. There are some story elements that we've seen in other movies before, so it doesn't really feel new. The story also tries to go for some emotional depth, and sometimes it works, and other times it feels a little over the top or even forced to be emotional. It didn't always work for me. However, I'm not here for the story, I never was. I'm here for the humor, and it's there. But that's the thing that makes this film a little weaker than the first Deadpool. The number one thing I didn't like about Deadpool 2 was the kid. I don't know if this is gonna be an unpopular opinion, but I didn't like Russell, played by Julian Dennison. I don't know if it's a bad performance by him or if it's how he was written. It's just generally this character did not work for me. And the problem is that he was very important to the story because Deadpool is trying to protect him, and the film and the emotional beats of the film relies on their chemistry together and their emotional bond, which I didn't buy, so that didn't work. I didn't really feel the chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and the kid. The kid sometimes behaved in a very strange way. I didn't really understand what he wanted. It's not like what we got in Logan with Wolverine and Laurel. And I love the fact that I'm saying that Wolverine did something better than Deadpool, and I know this would drive you nuts, but it's true. So a lot of the emotional beats of the film were relying on the relationship between Deadpool and the kid, and the fact that I didn't really like the kid really made those emotional beats fall flat for me. And that's why I came out of this film not as emotionally affected as I think it wanted me to be. So maybe Deadpool 2 was not as good as Deadpool 1, but it's definitely as funny and as entertaining. And if you like the first movie and if you like the characters, I highly recommend you check it out. I've seen it once and I'm definitely gonna check it out a bunch of times after. And so I'm gonna give Deadpool 2 an 8.5 out of 10. So, have you seen Deadpool 2? Let me know in the comment section what you think and tell me your favorite Deadpool joke from the comics or from the movies. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let me know what you'd like me to review for you next. See ya!